Right. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. So thanks for letting me know that I didn't have my microphone turned on. So that was a flub of the first 30 seconds. I appreciate you guys. I got a bunch of people on. I got Nancy and Ron and Deborah and James and Robert and Tara and Rapanese and Barbara and Montana and Maureen and Michelle and Colleen. And so let me know if everything sounds good on the sound now. Be saying zero sound now, but let me say good. Some people are saying, all right, we're going now. So we're on the frustrated with the culture and how we're going to strike back with that on the cultural impact system. We're going to have an open cart today, so stick with me because we're going to give you the link to go check out some of the bonuses as well as a discount that's special for the open cart. And really talk, just to make sure we're answering your questions about this. About an hour, we're going to have Dustin Nemos on. Right? And so Dustin Nemos is going to be on to decode with me, and we're going to have a lot of Q decodes, etc. But for next 25 minutes or so, we're going to quickly go over just to some questions you guys might have on the cultural impact system. I'm going to do a really whirlwind review of it. As you know, I'm extremely passionate about striking back and fighting source in all 7 mountains of cultural influence. And so I'm gonna kind of go through real quickly the system. I think most of you have been able to probably hit my 3 training videos. I got a 4th one that's going to probably air tomorrow. And then was also a webinar, but this will be another one that'll be for those. I'm going to assume you guys haven't seen any of this, so I'm going to quickly go over the cultural impact system, the whole thing, give you kind of the whole blueprint here, and then we'll open up the cart, show you what the bonuses and as well as a way to potentially get a impactor or a foundational member coffee mug, right? So that'll be one of the things we'll talk to you about. All right. And so you know that we will. Do you know that President is coming on with Hannity? Good. Well, okay, Lou, that's fine, but I got to get this done here too. But just to let you guys know that those of you who have not been able to see the system, I'm going to quickly go over that, and then we'll open up the cart. So so record Hannity for me. You can come back to that. 7 mountains of influence: spiritual, religion, family, business, government, media, education, academia, arts, and entertainment. And I've spent a lot of time talking about the attacks that we're getting. I think everybody just understands that we're attacked in all 7 mountains now. And if you look at the way most Christians handled this, we did God, family, football, right? God, family, work. As Vince Lombardi said, God, family, football. But and so we gave up these other mountains, and as believers, we have got to quit that because we've seen it's cost us the whole culture of this country almost, right? These primary cultural influences: the media, he who controls the mind controls the media, controls academia and education. He who controls that will actually you train up the younger generations, and that's why most of them believe in socialism and are anti-white, white privilege belief, and they believe rewritten history, all that stuff. And arts and entertainment, all the crap we have going on in every TV series, etc., not representative of the population. It makes it sound like all those alternative ways of living are normal. And I tell you what, that is why these 3 primary cultures ended up coming into the government, coming into business, coming into family. And actually, we got tons of corruption and people that have been bought out on the spiritual religion mountain as well. So we really have to reform all of these. It's going to take some time and effort and some passion, right? But you can see because of the belief in God, you see media that was at 2% and 3%. Even though 93% of the people were believers, the 7% that did not. Oh, guys, I got to show my screen here, so you can't see my screen. There you go. Let me come to here so you can see the whole thing. You can see the general population. 93% of the general population believed in God. And this is a 1998 survey. I'm sure there's a more recent one, but I'm not sure it's going to be too far off of that. 7% that did not believe own 98% of the media. Only 2% of believers were in the media. Only 3% in arts and entertainment. That means the 7% here controlled almost all of these 2 cultural influence areas. And 50%, the 7% were 50% of the politicians. We gave up all these mountains. Government. Academia is not on here, but if it was, I'm sure it would be similar to these 2. But you can see the problem. This is why we have to take back all 7 mountains it'll be really vital for us to take back all 7 of those mountains, right? So I'm going to open up the questions here as well, guys. So again, if you have any questions about the set, as I open up the card, etc., make sure you let me know what your questions are as we get into this. And so this is the system. It's pretty simple if you really just look at the fact that it's a 5-week online program and then a community. And that's what the blue is, 5-week online program and then a community. So I've spent, I think you guys have heard before, about $30,000 learning how to do the best online systems, getting the platform together, learning how to do best communities. I've been to Denver for training. I go to Toronto next month. I'll be going to Colorado Springs as well as Milwaukee for more training. And then I'll be, in January, my dream is to go on the road to talk to other Christian patriots like yourself, and physical stages, not just to talk about this system and how we can really help. And I'll be doing this probably 2 to 3 times a year as far as opening up the cart. So the next 3 days the cart's open, it's going to close, and it's going to be like a college class, and we'll run through it. We'll run through this 5-week course. Okay, and there are kind of 3 major portions of the course. It's to really identify your passion and area and confirm it. Some of you already may know it. That's great. Come and meet others in your passion area. Right? But also, it's always good to confirm it. There's going to be assessments in here. There's going to be questionnaires in here, and about 7 or 8 segments. They're about 3 to 15 minutes long maximum, right? So you'll be able to consume this material pretty quickly, and you'll be able to just quickly get into and we'll have a live training session after this, and really understand how can we categorize each person in one of their 7 mountains. This is not 7M and not Dominion theology. It has nothing to do with that. I just like the 7 mountain categorization, and it really is representative. If because the progressives went and got the top 3 to 5% of the people, they were able to take over the whole mountain. So we have to do things that'll go take up on that 3 to 5% of the mountain again. So we're going to think big here. And that's what's going to be fun about this is my specialty is team efficiency and effectiveness, which we'll get to in the third part. The second part is really making sure you unite as patriots and meet other Christian patriots in your passion area that have different spiritual gifts, because we want well-balanced teams. This is one of the specialties of making sure you have a good, effective team, is to make sure you form teams that are balanced. So you're going to have very much in common with the people that in your same passion area about what area you really are passionate about. And that's probably the more passion you have and you're praying about it, reading the Bible, the Lord's going to make it real clear where he wants you to focus, at least in the short term. You can always change that. Your passions can change, obviously. And then you're going to figure out what your spiritual gifts are, just confirm them. Some of you may know them. This is a simplified view of it, what your personality type is, and the team gifting, and then we're going to move into form those. And this is the team gifting that these two put together. I think that's one of the specialties I have, is simplifying things. There's only 4 personality types versus 16. This way you can easily remember yours, remember others, and peg others. And it makes it much more simple. You combine that with your spiritual gifts, and then we have a perfect profile of how we combine different personality types to make an awesome team with different spiritual gifts, right? And then we'll get these specialties here in a second, and that is really executing. We'll practice. One of the best, you can take a class for design thinking. It costs around $2,200 for a 2-day class. And a lot of people take it and then they don't practice it. It doesn't do much good. Here I'm going to show you the 20% you'll really get the best results on, and then allow you to actually practice it. That's going to be the fun part about this. And some of these teams might actually form right out of the system and go. But it's designed to where it's going to help you on your current teams. It's designed to where it's going to help you on your future teams. And it could be that our actual cultural impact system, you create a team and go do something with that team. Or you might find others over time as the new classmates come in. Bottom line is, once you start setting the right outcomes and start effectively executing as an agile consultant, right? There's a $1,200 Scrum Master course. I'm going to teach you the 20% you need to know to really do well with that. Again, help on current teams and future teams. Now, you may be a person that doesn't have very much time, and that's fine. You may be a person that wants to completely change your career. That's fine as well. This is designed for to help those. You may be a person that doesn't have any idea where you want to start, or you may be a person that you actually know, you already have teams, you already have multiple teams rolling somewhere, but you want to have more Christian patriots join your teams. So come in and join the system, and you'll meet some others. Now, and then we're going to graduate as an impactor. That's what I want you guys to do, is become an impactor for culture with me. That is going to be the fun part. So we talked about the spiritual gifts. I'm going to keep to these 7. If you're on a spiritual mountain, we might expand it. But right now, these are the 7. As an example, I'm a teacher and a leader administrator. That's the primary is my teacher. Even though people won't be surprised by that. My secondary is here. But in order to have a good team, we need some people with primaries that are servers and perceivers and encouragers and sympathizers and givers, right? So I don't want all leaders on my team and all teachers on my team, right? I might need some, but that's why we want to have understand what your spiritual gifts are. And then also I want to understand your personality type, because you can't do this alone. You need a team to really make impact. And that's why we're going to enjoy getting into your personality type as well. Now, Myers-Briggs has 16 personality types, and I just didn't find it very useful myself. I've taken this 3 times, 2 times at Accenture, and I'll tell you what, it was insightful at the time, but I can't even remember my gift, one of my 16 right now, and to try to peg somebody else, really tough. And so this is, I'm not throwing this under the bus, because it's a great program for some people. But I think for majority of people, having it much more simple with the 4 primary types, will you be able to quickly peg yourself and others, and combine it with your spiritual gifts makes it a real powerful thing. So these 4 types are you fast or emotion first person? And are you a slow or fast thinking, talking, moving person? Pretty simple, right? So these classifications are sometimes in colors. I like to use the marine animals, right? And we'll just put you in one of these categories. Are you a person that craves information, loves people, want to have fun, or want to get results? And you can see an urchin is a person who actually wants facts first, and they make decisions slowly, right? They're thinking about it. They want to talk, and they move a little bit slower because they're really thinking through. They don't want to make a bad decision. Same with whales. They love people. They think from emotions, though, versus facts. They don't need a lot of facts. They're really worried about the empathy and sympathy of others, right? Same with a dolphin. They're emotion first too. They don't want facts, but they talk much faster. They're the life of the party. They want to have fun. You know some dolphins, I probably. So let me know what you think you are on the chat out here. Are you, and obviously a shark is someone who wants facts and wants to make decisions fast and get results, right? So tell me what you think you are. Are you an urchin? Facts, slow thinker? Crave information and facts? Are you a whale? Do you just love people? You think with emotion first? Most people can peg themselves pretty well. Now we will have an assessment to really confirm this. Because I kind of thought I was going to be more of an urchin, because I analyze a lot. And if you think about my YouTube channel, I analyze a lot, and then I also teach a lot, right? So that I use this, but this is my secondary actually. My primary is over here, because I'm a facts person for sure. But as you know, I speak incredibly fast, and I also like to get results, and that's why I want to get results for you in the cultural impact system. But I need teammates that are going to do other things, right? Like I got a person doing my technology that's more over here, that's doing the information, etc. Right? So somebody's saying, I'm an urchin and a whale. Lady Warrenon said there's new Q. Yeah, we're going to go over that with Destin Nemos at the top of the hour. At 9 o'clock, we'll be going over all that. Right now, we're going over the cultural impact system. So I see Ryan saying he's an urchin. Good, that means you analyze stuff. Urchin and whale. Yeah, Margaret, so one of them is going to be primary, and you'll know that after the assessment, right? James is a whale. You love people. I love it. Definitely, everyone says I'd like to analyze things. I'm urchin, whale, and dolphin. Yep. So it'd be interesting to see which one's your primary. And so you like to have fun. You really are emotions first. A ton of facts is not going to change. If you're hurting somebody, even though if it's good, you're going to err on here. So that's really important. I'm at crossroad of all. You can be that Nixon, but the point is that a lot of times you'll find with assessment what your primary is, and that'll help you. Plus, you'll be able to help to use others as well. All right, and so I'm going to quickly go over the rest of this. So that just kind of centers us on this, and once you get your spiritual gift and team gift, we'll get the team gifting, and we'll form balanced teams, right? And then we'll get into literally setting objectives correctly. I'm not going to go to the details of this because I'm going to give you the 20% what people are paying $2,200 for, right? And that is an empathy map. We're going to do that to really understand who we're solutioning for. And an example would be if we're going to try to get prayer back in school or something, we're going to have to go influence certain people, right? Teachers, potentially administrators. We're going to go do an empathy map on them. Definition. Here's where we get our problem statement in. So, but if you try to do the problem statement before you really understand who you're solving for, your problem statement is going to be off. That's why the empathy map is going to really help define this. And when we have these two things, it helps us brainstorm a lot better within boundaries of being able to solve this problem. And then but it also allows us freedom to create some creative ideas. And then these last two stages of design thinking, we're going to use the agile methods to actually prototype and test it in an iterative way. Works extremely well. This is my specialty for most of my career, right? It's helping small teams be successful. And then Scrum, it's kind of like that term from rugby where you get shoulder to shoulder and you have a Scrum, right? I'm going to show you how to do this really effectively. And really move quickly into making progress every 2 weeks toward those huge outcomes that you made. And it really works extremely well. In fact, people, again, pay $1,200 to become a Scrum Master. And I'm going to give you the 20% you really need to be effective at a fraction of the cost, right? You'll see that. So that's really the whole system. I'm excited about meeting with you 5 times each week. To all 5 times will be group training, live group training. And you'll be able to ask a lot of questions. I'll be able to answer them. We'll work together. And you'll be able to see other people's questions answered. And so even if you can't make the live training, not that big of a deal because we'll have it recorded. And you learn a lot from seeing other people's questions getting answered. And most importantly, we can master some of these things as we go in the community going forward, right, after the 5 weeks. So that's really the system. I know that's a whirlwind way of going through it. But some examples of people doing the similar things is Brian Colfage in Baghdad gets hit 3 feet, a bomb lands 3 feet from him. It's actually a 77 millimeter rocket. He takes over 100 people giving blood to keep him alive. Over 100 people. He's air vac to the United States. He barely makes it. I'm going to come over here a little bit so I can see you guys. And it's amazing to see what he does. Brian Colfage, actually survived that. He was the most injured person to ever survive it. But to save his life, he was a triple amputee. He lost both legs and his dominant forearm. So he didn't give up, though. He fought, got to walking. He actually... one of his girlfriends or a friend from high school, he ended up marrying her later, having 2 kids later, walking on his prosthetic legs after 11 months battle. But he continued on. Eventually, he saw President Trump not getting the wall funding, and he went and got $25 million. But he didn't do it alone. He formed a small team. He has 15 people on his board. They selected awesome people to do a specialty part of the wall that the Army Corps of Engineers couldn't even do. $25 million. Making huge impact on our culture in the government area. An incredible story. But he had to go get a team of people with different gifts, etc. Set outcomes that were big. And then go achieve them. And they have people speaking on stages, getting their message out, setting up social media accounts, a GoFundMe page, obviously. So Brian Colfage is a great example. Rachel and Roy Scott. Rachel was the first person killed in Columbine way back in 1991, I believe it was 94. And Roy Scott found 7 of her diaries, or 6 of her diaries, I'm sorry. And they had some cool things written on them. And one of them said, "These hands belong to Rachel Joy Scott and will someday touch millions of people's hearts." Her dad read all these inspirational quotes about being kind to each other and all these things. And instead of giving up, just like Brian didn't give up, he went and pulled these together into a system called Rachel's Challenge. And he had a team to do that. So he got a team of other people in the same passion area. Sounds familiar to the cultural impact system, right? And then he went and got a well-balanced team. He was a good speaker. He was a preacher, right? So he was a good speaker, but he needed other people to help him get on stages. And he did amazing things. But you know what? It wasn't until he really started thinking scale and bigger, the outcomes I'm talking about, where he started hiring other people to speak. And then he started achieving those. And they go to schools, K to 12. And now they go to over thousands of schools every year. Because they have 50 speakers. He's not the only one. That is thinking big. That is scaling. That's fighting source and who's trying to destroy our culture in our schools. And Roy Scott is fighting back with Rachel's message of kindness. And her hands now have affected over 4+ million students. What she wrote in her journal has come true because Roy Scott didn't give up. Roy Scott learned what his passion area was. Roy Scott actually got a team with different spiritual and team giftings. He scaled it with some big design thinking, and then he executed it in a small way to hit each of those. That's what we want to do here. My YouTube channel is a great example. You guys have helped it. I got moderators helping me. I got people who've sent me equipment. I'm paying for website and help. I'm paying for some technical teams to pull together this system, etc. And that team is now, and just think about all the other animals like Dustin Nemos who's coming on at the top of the hour, right? We and Shady and Matrix and Praying Medic, and you add all these people up, your favorite people. By the way, Lady Warnon, congratulations on being queued today. I can't wait to go over that here in a little bit. Lady Warnon, very, very, very awesome. So these are the examples of what we can do. That's why I believe that the power of one person who gets around a small team can just do amazing things on our culture. And that's what the system's designed to empower you to do that. I want to serve you to do that. And that's exactly why I spent the $30,000 and a lot of time and effort over the last 10 months to make this happen. And here's what I believe the value of this is, and I'm being very honest here, is that if you went and took a design thinking course, you wouldn't be able to practice. It would just be 2 days. It'd be $2,200. I think I'm getting more value in that, but I'm going to teach you about 20% of what you're going to get there. Same with the Agile Scrum training. You could go take a 2-day class, and it would cost you $1,200, and you wouldn't get to practice much at all. And we're going to practice it, and so you're going to get a lot of that value. I'm going to teach you the 20%. They'll give you the 80% of the value. That's why I took these kind of to 80%. Team formation, and the design thinking and agile practices, confirming passion area, confirming your team gifting and spiritual gifts, 5 live group training sessions, and then the impactor community for free early on. And then I'm going to give you some free bonus items. It'll be priceless, right? So think of some of your questions you might have, and we'll get onto those next. But this value, I believe, is close to $5,000, right? 48, 47. And what this opening cart pricing is going to be, you're going to get all we just talked about, and it's going to be at $497, or 3 payments of $191. So this obviously a fraction of the cost of what it would take to go kind of do this on your own, and it's going to be with other Christian patriots. Online training that you can take in bites. Even if you have vacation during August, you can catch up because there's about 2.5 hours worth of material that you'll be able to consume and practice and talk about. So if you miss a week, you can catch up, and you can see the recording of the live session. So this is going to be fun, guys. The open cart bonuses is this. So it's not just that. I'm going to get you an additional live training session with me on confirming spiritual gifts and personality types. That's an area I know people are real interested in, making sure they understand that. We're going to have one live session, but it's going to be the whole group. This will be a smaller group of people that only join on during this open cart. So we had a webinar where some people joined already. They already filled up what I'll talk to you about in a second. And so we already have people raring and ready to go. But this is the official open cart for the next 3 days. It'll close Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. Now, whoever joins today will happen to have another. Also, the second gift obviously is a coffee mug that says Culture Impact System Founding Member. So I'd love for you to become a founding member with me. This course is the 3 courses I took cost $2,000, $2,000, and $8,000 to really learn this stuff well, right? So this will probably be around a $2,000 course when we fully build this out, right? But this will be the cheapest you'll ever get this. Plus, it'll be a foundational member. It'll be fun for you to join me if you can do that. But hey, if you want to today, and you will give a video testimony, we'll take another $100 off. Okay. So basically, if you do that, we'll go down to $397 or 3 payments of $152, right? So anyway, but that'd be for the first 10 that sign up. I'm going to put the link in here for those of you who want to go check it out. This is the link for that I have in the chat. I'll put it in the bottom of the video as well. Just go check it out and give me feedback through the email at. You can go to blessedtoteach.com with a 2, blessed with a number 2, teach.com, and you can send me an email there. Or I think there's ways to give me feedback through some of the downloads I've given you, etc. But right now, I want you to open it up for this. So remember, if you like for instance, I want to give you some examples of some training that, for instance, I was going to get my son in a 13-week training session. It was like $12,000 to go through a 13-week class, and that $12,000 compared to college education, because they would almost guarantee you a job, right? Was a deal, right? But that's an example. I only paid $8,000 for my 12-week course, and I had some other courses that were shorter that were the $2,000 courses, right? So I tried to make this much cheaper than those $2,000 courses, and offer payments. And so and if you're willing to do the video testimony, it goes down to all the way to the $397, right? So yikes, prayers, Lady Warren on. I'm not sure what Lady Warren on is talking about. So if you guys have any questions, throw them out now. I'm going to answer some of the questions that I got in the webinar that aired a couple days ago. And this is it's self-paced. So just to let you know, we'll all start together on Monday. That's a question I get a lot, and it's online. So and the cool thing is that what I learned in my training is you just don't do a 45-minute lesson. You give everybody a bite size that they can consume on their own time, from 3 to 15 minutes, and then with maybe a lesson. So never more than 20 minutes or so of activity to get one lesson done. Right, so you have a module. These 4 modules are going to. 5 modules are going to go through. Each one's got about 8 of these little 15-minute sections in it. So it works extremely well for you being able to make it sense. No, Kathy, this isn't a credit. This is me. This is something I created myself in a big hole. I thought, Kathy, that there was in what we needed to do to go fight Soros, because we have a lot of people out there that number one, they're frustrated with the culture and they don't know what to do, and they want to help, but they're not really sure where to start. So this whole program was developed by me based upon that frustration that you guys have, a lot of you guys have, and that other people have already started to engage the culture, but they can't get the right team together. So it's kind of for those 2 different people that already have some teams going and are tackling some stuff, and then some people that have no idea where to start. And but if we're gonna go get the culture, we gotta. I want to help all people in between, from somebody that's got a lot going on, somebody who doesn't got anything going on, right? So this is a program to actually get, get you accelerated. Now there's free things you can do. So obviously, for those of you who don't have the means and fixed income and don't have the means to do this, I totally understand. That's why I talk to you about free things on my channel all the time. For like Mark Taylor has the free training to go start your own church group. He has a free prayer groups you can get organized. You can go volunteer to go tackle getting Trump reelected in the campaign, right? Those are all things that are awesome, right? And so that's fine. My mission's not that. My mission, there's no way I can fight Soros with me part-time, you part-time, you part-time, you part-time, right? Eventually, we need to bring revenue, and just think what Brian Colfage did. He brought $25 million in, right? He's obviously paying himself a reasonable salary to execute that whole thing. And he can't have effect without doing that. So I'm going to teach you how to build companies, how to build nonprofits that are going to go get money, if that makes sense, right? That is a critical thing to do. And this is all about investing in yourself, guys, to be honest. And I know I realize some of you can't do it, but invest in yourself, just like I invested in the $2,000 courses to learn how to build these courses, right? And then invest in the $2,000 so I can learn how to do a good community. And then $8,000 actually I had to have somebody come and help me build it because it was too time consuming for me to do, because I work full time and do the show at night. So I had to have somebody come in and help me build this, right? So accelerate. That's right, John Goldstein. That's exactly right. So there's and then we'll have these live group sessions. I'm going to use Zoom. I'm going to show you how to use Zoom. It's another thing that's really interesting. I'm going to have a bunch of remote tools for you guys. So I'm going to teach you how to use Zoom. You'll see how we can use Zoom, and your teams can use Zoom. And so your team members that you're going to practice with don't have to be in your city. You don't have to see them live, but you're going to see them face to face in Zoom. It's really awesome. That's one of the tools. We're also going to. So I'm going to show you how to set up real easy Trello boards, which is a remote way to keep track of things, and then also tools that will allow you just to basically share information on and be able to everybody see the same thing, such as on the empathy map. So those remote tools are going to be fun for you to learn, and then we're gonna have a community site too. So we're going to be able to have, and it's not going to be on Facebook because they may knock me off, right, or you off. And so I had to pay for a separate site that hosts the community site, right? But it's going to be a way for us to communicate well and really allow all that type of stuff. And then obviously, again, if you have August vacation, like I was saying, not a big deal. You can catch up. A lot of people will get this course and go over on their own time because they're gonna be too busy in August. That's fine as well. I did the same thing. I for the community site, I was too busy training in how to build the course, right, and how to speak better on stages when I end up going out to stages, being trained in that, investing in myself. And so I bought the community thing even though I knew I wasn't going to get all the way through it. I still haven't got all the way through it, but I'll get through that and go to training in Toronto in the end of August. And then again, this will be, even though there's a full 7 days for each module, you have a full 7 days to take. It's only 2 to 3 hours per week of material, if that makes sense. Really impactful stuff that will allow you to apply it and then practice it with me and with your team and on a live call. So it's not extremely time consuming. It's built for busy people. So I hope that helps. And I understand Montana and Nomad, but hey, I'm hoping that we're going to have a free site in early next year. I'm going to stick with my channel because I'm going to be telling you things that we learn in this, that you can still help be a Christian patriot, obviously, even for those. There's a lot of you on fixed incomes that just won't be able to do this. I'm hoping to also eventually we're going to get scholarships for people who want to go through this. This is for people who really want to invest in themselves and accelerate to do big things like Brian Colfage did, like Roy Scott did for Rachel's Challenge with his daughter, right? To have 50 speakers talking and impacting 1,000 schools a year, right? If he was doing that himself, he could only do probably 7 or 8 schools, right? And if he didn't have a team, he could probably only do 1 or 2. But he had a team, so now he can 8, 9, 10 a year, and then he has 50 speakers, so he can do 1,000 a year, right? And again, you don't have to be a public speaker. Yeah, so Margaret, just FYI, we need people that are behind the scenes. There's a lot of people we need behind the scenes. The best people are doing the analysis, the people that are helping understand what stages we should be on. And so this system is designed for a balanced team. If everybody wanted to be a speaker and nobody wanted to prep them, no one wanted to do the work to help collect the finances, actually do a lot of the administration stuff that's incredibly valued, leadership as well, administration. Some people, those guys don't like to speak. So we only need one speaker on a team of 7 or 8 people, right? We only need one speaker. Now we grow later, we might get more speakers, but it's really important to understand that this is not expecting you to be a speaker. This is expecting you to want to be a Christian patriot and part of a team where you'll use your specific gifts in the best way. That's what I'm most excited about, right? So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to paste it again in case this is scrolled off. But would love for you guys to be a foundational member and join me. What was that? Oh, I know what that was. That was the code I am actually. Let me grab the other one that I had here. And we'll wrap it up here as we get ready for Dustin Nemos here in 20 minutes. Appreciate you guys so much, though. Hoping that we can get some people that want to accelerate their success and meet other Christian patriots and that are also invested in themselves. And I'm going to obviously be investing my time with you, as I'm with you at least once a week. You get a sixth free training as well if you do decide to join me as a foundational member today. All right, guys. RV life, you're awesome, says Spirit. But anyway, hey guys, we're going to wrap it up there. If you have any other questions, be sure to send me an email, etc. It's exciting times. Again, stay tuned though with me, even if you are in a fixed income, because we're going to figure out another program for you guys as we start building a team. Once I am able to free up from my full-time job, I'm able to build my team. My vision is to be supporting hundreds of other teams by end of next year, right? That is going to be the key. So we're going to be bringing in we're going to have new sessions, almost like college, a couple times a year, maybe 3 times a year, starting a new class. This first foundational class, again, starts Monday. The cart closes on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Hey, for those of you guys who want, we're going to be doing a ton of decoding with Dustin Nemos here at the top of the hour. And so join me there for the Blessed to Teach show here shortly. God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.